traditional territories and homeland of the Gwich'in, Inuvialuit, and Métis people of the Northwest Territories. We are grateful to these Indigenous groups of the NWT for allowing us the opportunity to learn, work, and live on their lands. We are also deeply grateful for the generous sharing of traditional knowledge, wisdom, and ways of knowing, being, and doing with the residents of our town. We commit to honoring paths towards self-determination.
Are the owls on visually? I don't see little eyeballs.
We'll just check one moment for a tech check. The lights are on now. Yeah. All right. So on Wednesday, we'll look for some motions for the adoption of the agenda. I do not believe there are any changes as of now. Declaration of conflict of interest or pecuniary interest. There are any? Seeing none. And then we'll move on to our delegations, presentations, and petitions. Tonight we have two items here. The first one is the council swearing in ceremony for our two new members. So SAO Hood will perform the ceremony. If Whitney, Alexis, and Ned Day could come forward, please.
So I guess Whitney first, and then we'll just.
Whitney first?
Whitney will go first.
Okay, awesome.
Sorry. And then Aaron, you might cover. You can go ahead.
I, Whitney Alexis, do solemnly and sincerely promise and affirm that I will duly, faithfully, and do the best of my skill and knowledge, execute the power and perform the duties entrusted in me as a council.
Sorry. Yep. Aaron. While he's doing it, this is the council code of conduct. So certainly take a look at it. However, we'll make it sign it now. So if you just sign right there, and we'll get you a copy of both these documents for you. Thank you. And welcome. Thank you.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah. Holy moly. All right, thank you. Welcome.
Okay, Ned, here we go. Okay, so again, you just read that out loud.
I, Ned Day, do solemnly and secure promise and affirm that I will duty, faithfully, and the best of my skill, knowledge, execute the power, and perform the duties entrusted to me as a councillor.
Sign here.
Little nervous.
Then this is the council code of conduct, so we'll send a copy, but
Yeah.
acknowledge
For sure.
there.
Awesome.
Welcome.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Really.
Some media, yay.
Thank you. Thank you.
The nervous part is
Thank you.
over.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Thank you very much and welcome to council. We're just going to take a couple moments here. We do have a presentation from the Ahmade Muslim Youth Association, and I believe they have a PowerPoint they're going to give to SEO Hood. Just give them a sec.
Just have to get that.
Oh.
Wind turbine day. Not done yet. Should be done. I went up in there. I couldn't.
So for your actual presentation, you'll just be at the 2 seats at the end there. That's- Yeah.
You can sit down there. Those 2 seats are just for you. Yeah, yeah.
And then if you want to turn on your microphone as well, so,
Okay.
just there, push the button.
Here's the one that says talk.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
Perfect.
All right, so just as SEO Hood pulls the document up on the screen, just a reminder that you have 10 minutes for your presentation and then some questions from council if there are any. So we'll get started. I believe you have the power over there to go right ahead. So please do.
All right, thank you so much, everyone, for giving us the opportunity. My name is Nabeel, and I'm here, Rashid. So we have come over long distance from Toronto, from Saskatoon. We belong to Ahmade Muslim community, which is a worldwide community under divine leadership. And we are representing here, or we came here as representatives of the Youth Association. So we have the Male Youth Association members from 15 to 40, and we also have Elder Association and Women Association. But part of our mandate is to reach out and convey and introduce to different towns in Canada and provide all the help that we can offer. So our concentration mostly is in the GTA or Ontario area, but we have chapters all across Canada as well. And we are looking for permanent presence in different towns as well. So in this session, I would like to start with, if the council permits, with a verse of the Holy Quran, recitation from the Holy Book, if permitted, and then introduce, what our services are and what we can do here, or what we are thinking to accomplish here. Do we have the permission?
Is council okay with
Sure,
that?
yeah.
Sure.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Can I request Rashid to please recite the verses of the Holy Quran? Okay.
Should we stand?
No,
Okay.
you don't have to.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving us the opportunity, and congratulations to the new council members. I met with my buddy today, so yeah, so it's a small world day. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل والسائلين وفي الركاب وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة والموفون بعهدهم إذا عاهدوا والصابرين في البعثاء والضراء وحين البأس أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون. Now I will present the English translation of the verses just recited. In the name of Allah, the gracious, the merciful. It is not righteousness that you turn your faces to the east or the west, but truly righteous is he who believes in Allah and the last day and the angels and the book and the prophets, and spends his money for love of him on the kindred and the orphans and the needy and the wayfarer and those who ask for charity, and for ransoming the captives, and who observes prayer and praise the God, and those who fulfill their promise when they have made one, and the patient in poverty and afflictions, and the steadfast in the time of war. It is these who have proved truthful, and it is these who are God-fearing. Thank you.
Thank you, Rashid. So, quick introduction of the community. So there are several sects in Islam. Our sect is founded by the Mirza Ghulam Ahmad of Qadian, who was born in 1835 and he passed away in 1908 in the small town of Qadian in India. So the purpose of his writing and all his teachings was to reform the teaching of Islam and bring people closer to God and encourage them to serve humanity. Our current leader, the worldwide leader, is the head of the Ahmadi Muslim community. He is residing in the UK. His name is Mirza Masroor Ahmad, and we have chapters in over 200 countries and territories in the world. We have a very active community in Canada, and in several functions that we have over the years, we have the honor to have various prime ministers attend them as well. So Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, he attended our July congregation as well. But in the past, we have Stephen Harper, he also attended Calgary Mosque, I think it was a mosque inauguration event, I think. Our headquarters in the UK look like this. The mosque on the top left is the recent construction, and we have various guest houses there. If anyone would like to attend our annual gathering in the UK, they're more than welcome. We provide accommodation and everything, and logistics for our guests. This is just a few pictures for those events. The one in the center with the, I think it's hard to see, is our president in Canada.
Prime Minister.
Next to the Prime Minister on the left, that's our president of the community. We have another organization called Humanity First, which is also international. We actually, under this organization, we work together with the United Nations as well, and provide emergency relief and various services such as medical and health clinics and food banks and refugee settlement and everything else related stuff. The distinction of this organization is that 93% of the donated funds, they actually reach the cause, and only 7% is of administrative cost, because most of the work is done by volunteers. We don't have paid workers. Some of the examples of those activities are here in different parts of the world. So the one in the middle, I think, is the water project in Africa to bring waters to different towns. So next is what is the youth association? So the sub auxiliary in the community is the youth group, which we are representing today. Our mission, this is our website, Ahmade Muslim Youth Association.ca. We keep ourselves busy in various causes, similar causes like planting trees, blood drives, supporting local food banks. We also do charity runs. Last year, we also provided a shelter bus for the homeless in the cold winter months, in January and February months. We have good coverage on media as well for that. So we try to keep our youth busy in various productive activities. Basically, the goal of our philosophy is that the nations cannot be reformed without the reformation of the youth. So we keep them busy in productive stuff, in academic, sporting, social welfare, and all the humanitarian services or humanitarian work that we do under AMIA, we do it under the banner of Mercy for Mankind. Mercy for Mankind, you will see it as a logo in different activities. So some of the example activities that we have done is the neighborhood helper campaign, basically to provide groceries during COVID. We also do the New Year food drives. We do various runs as well. So a run for market or a new market, a run for one, or different towns across Canada. And then we raise this money and give to different food banks or other causes or hospitals and stuff like that. We also did the £1 million of food campaign last year to 2021. Some examples of this, different mayors are also attending our activities. Okay, so in interest of time. So yeah, so this year we launched about 18 runs. So these are the runs that some are happening right now as we speak, and some are scheduled for next month as well. Okay, so last but not the least, when I mentioned this to the president of the community that we are going to Inuvik to introduce ourselves, he asked me to present to the council over there a project such as this, a monument that we built in the city of Windsor back in 2017. And this monument basically represents the unification, diversity, and peace, and basically draws a lot of visitors as well in the park who appreciate the message which is written there: love for all, hatred for none. So we'd like to, if the council allows, maybe select a good site here in the town as well, and construct something similar to encourage the services to humanity and love for all and hatred for none ideology. Thank you. That's pretty much it. Any questions?
Great, thank you very much. Are there any questions from council? I just had a question, and I think it might have an obvious answer, but have you connected with the local Muslim association or at the mosque here and been able to reach out to some youth or anything like that?
So our visit was very short. We went to the mosque, we tried to connect, but we were not able to connect with Abdullah, I believe the main person. We met a few Muslim community members at the mosque, and also we have a friend, Salah. He drives a cab. He's a very close friend to the community. We'll work, we continue to work with that as well. I know they do a food bank, and that is very appreciated. But unfortunately, no, we couldn't get connected to Abdullah yet.
Okay, thank you for that. Are there any other questions from council? Councilor Merrill, go ahead.
I just want to say thank you. I think it's a great message and one we need to share with everybody.
Thanks.
Further, I assume that if there's any sort of documentation or anything around the request or question about maybe a monument of some sort, that you, SAO Hood, will be provided that information if it's
Definitely.
available.
Yeah, we don't have in a printed form, but electronically I will send email more details.
Okay.
But I think we have a package for the humanitarian services, which is already distributed. The brochure. Yeah.
Councilor Miro, go ahead.
Could I just ask how long you're in Inuvik for?
We actually, we heard that a storm is coming, so we are leaving in 10 minutes.
It's probably a good idea. Thank you.
But we came here on Friday night,
Okay.
but we'll continue to come. We have a permanent member who lives here. He's joining in January, I believe. He works here in the city.
Councilor Gao.
First of all, thank you for making the trip. I know you drove up, so it's a long drive from Ontario and Saskatchewan. But it is good to have you here. I'd definitely encourage you to reach out to the intergovernmental agency group if you have a chance, because I think given what you want to do and the help you want to offer, and maximize your efforts and kind of get a sense of how things interact in the community. And kind of who might be the lead or the lead contact person to reach out to in different aspects of humanitarian assistance or things like that. It can really help you network. So.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much.
So if there are no further questions, we'll just say thank you very much for the presentation and safe travels.
Thank you so much.
I just want to thank you, everyone. Before coming to Inuvik, I was a little bit scared and, like because of the drive, but I think the warm welcome actually makes our trip very happier. So we are going with a good memories and good thoughts. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
So we can move on then to item 5, public question period. Are there any questions from the public this evening?
Don't forget your stuff on the desk there.
Oh, that's ours.
Oh, that's
That
ours.
will-
Shouldn't give it away then. Thank you.
Oh, it wouldn't work with the other part.
We do not appear to have anyone for the public question period. We'll move on to 6.1, the adoption of the minutes. The minutes of the September 12th, 2022 council meeting. Were there any comments, discussion on the minutes? Seeing none. All right, thank you. First we'll vote.
So, drive carefully.
Oh, first we'll vote on everything on Wednesday night. So 7.1, the action items list. I noticed that there have been some updates to the list. Are there any questions on the action items list? None. Move on to new business. Item 8.1, request for donation of space at the Midnight Sun Complex for the Inuvik Girl Guides. This is a repeat request coming out of COVID, but also not knowing what the DEA is doing with the gyms yet at the school. So is there any discussion on this item? Seeing none, I'll just ask SEO Hood, have we heard anything from DEA at this point?
We did contact VDEC regarding it. The comment that we received back is the DEA has no members or staff to administer
Oh, no.
the appointments or doing things at the gym. So that's the latest we've heard at this point in time.
All right, so if there is no further discussion. We do not have bylaws or department head reports this evening. We have under information items, our strategic priorities chart, which I think we will come into a little update on once we get our new counselors settled in a little bit. So that'll be fun. Were there any comments though or discussion on the chart at this time? Councilor SAO Hood, please go ahead.
I just want to mention, last week I was at the local government administrators conference, and Gordon McIntosh was there, and he complimented our council on the chart and actually showed it as an example of of ways to go. Ours is more complicated than some, because it depends on the size, but I think he did want to compliment council and administration for keeping it up and again, reaffirming quarterly or so we would revise it or take a look at it.
Great, thank you for that. And then we'll move on to item 12, council concerns. Do we have any concerns this evening? Councilor Wayman, go ahead.
We have those information signs for distracted driving still.
Yes, we do.
I will pass it over to Director of Protective Services for that answer.
Yes, we do.
The reason I'm asking, I think it's dark season's coming, school has started, and I'm just seeing way too much in town, and we should start making everyone aware of it and enforcing it. And everyone's guilty of it, even me. But it's something that I remember seeing up once upon a time, and I think we should put it back up and start reading, well, educating them, everyone again. You see it everywhere. And it's, you see vehicles swerving on Airport Road, downtown. Anyone you pass is not looking up, they're looking down. So I think it's something we got to start enforcing and taking a good look at.
So we will start a public education campaign, and I will ensure that our peace officers are looking for that.
It's a big concern of mine, especially now that school started, even when there's no school, it's anytime there's children running on our streets. We don't have sidewalks on both sides of the streets. There's people walking to work in the morning. It's a big, huge concern. Thank you.
Thank you. Any further council concerns this evening? Councilor Devlin?
Not really concerned, but just following up on that, I do have to say your sign outside of Alistine's has slowed me down considerably around that point. So thank you.
Thank you, Councilor Devlin. Councilor Miro, go ahead.
On that point, those signs really, really do work when you see how fast you're going. People up in Wolverine are saying that they have a lot of speeding on that road. Do we have any of those signs to move around, maybe pop up here and there?
I'll refer that to the Director of Protective Services.
Yes, we do. Actually, so the two signs that we have right now are portable, and those were the two targeted areas that we felt was the Inuit Road and Franklin were the two that we wanted to target this year. The good thing about this system is we can actually add to it now. Once we have the initial software and the signs, so we will look at that. And we specifically bought these because they are portable, which means that we can move them to a different area once we get some statistics, and actually that will be coming. We have some interesting statistics as well for those two areas.
Can we get more of the signs? Because I think those two are in very important locations. I think there's other places in town. If we added to it, it's a reminder to people about how fast they're really going.
We can incorporate that into the budget deliberations that are coming up.
Oh, well, I'll vote for it. Thank you.
Thank you, Director Allen. All right, anything else on council concerns? Not seeing any raised hands. We do not have any in-camera items tonight, so I'll just look for a motion. Do we have a motion to adjourn? No motion to adjourn. We shall adjourn. Thank you very much,
Said we're gonna do
everyone.
So Ned, Whitney, if you can just stick around for 5 minutes.